20 years. 20 years, but, you know, who's counting, right? I mean, 20 years she endured a said marriage where sister really ain't have no say in the original arrangements nor the terms thereof, but 20 years he beat her senseless. Somehow or another, she managed to muster up the quote-unquote bravery to stick around because one day he decided maybe he shouldn't hit her no more. Now, granted, that was due to outside pressure that threatened the security of his pockets, but he stopped, right? But the damage was done. And on their 40th wedding anniversary, they both decide, maybe we'll throw a nice little shindig. Spare no details, all expenses, pull out all the stops. Invite all their family and friends. She is to smile, celebrate her husband's greatness, talk about how far they've gone as a country, as a couple. They're to reminisce on the good old days when everybody knew their places. They're to talk about all the great triumphs that they've accomplished. All the lands and the places that they've conquered, that they stole, that they visited. And before any of their friends come, in the still silence, you could hear the creak of the floor as he walks, touches ever so gently, caresses the small of her back and says, babe, look how far we've come. Those last 20 years, they were rough, but these have been good. Let's not talk about the last ones because, they make everybody uncomfortable and they separate. And why would you want to separate? Let's unify. Let's talk about unity. What is she to do? Well, she's to hold her little sparkler, wear her pretty little red, white, and blue dress and act like the first 20 years didn't happen. As if she's still not suffering under the thumb of the mental walls that he done built. Oh yeah, he ain't hit her no more, but he don't have to. The scars do all that work for her. She ain't been the same since. Her hip, it's a little bit out of the place. Her jaw, it's kind of ajar to the left, so her smile a little crooked. And every once in a while, he compares her to other wives, like, she ain't as pretty as y'all are, but he turned and tell her, I don't see color, I don't see beauty. She is to be thankful that now she can be in the big house. She is to celebrate her rights. Her right to vote, on what's for dinner, right? Things are good now, or at least they better than they were. You should pat your nation, your husband on his back, tell him he's the greatest nation, the greatest country, the greatest man in the world. What is she to do? You ask, if it was so bad, why didn't she leave? As a matter of fact, why is she always playing the victim? Why is everything about her? Don't other wives get hit too? Don't all wives matter? Why am I forced to only mourn your scars? Girls hit girls all the time. We call that wife-on-wife crime. Why I need to worry about just yours? And if it was so bad, if it really was so bad, why was he not prosecuted? Why did not all of your friends who saw this all going on step in and say something? Maybe she's making this up. Why did your church not even step in, instead silenced you and said this is not our issues? And in a weird twist of magic, somehow she just became the victim and the villain. And I don't know how this worked. Does he not owe her? Does forgiveness do not require restitution first? Does the cross that you say you cling to does not scream that justice comes before reconciliation? How can we talk about unity if you're not ready to admit you wrong? Is she not worth justice? And what about the ladies that fight back? Can you not understand why she might think to take matters into her own hands and punch this sucker every once in a while? Even though we know that vengeance is just a bastard version of justice, can you not understand the pain for which this young lady is suffering? Is it not too late to say you sorry, huh, Justice? Those thoughts don't plague your mind? I don't know. You know what? Never mind. Happy 4th of July. Enjoy your ribs.